All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to evaluate a piecewise function at given values. Okay, so go ahead and copy this down first. This is the example we're going to use. It has four different pieces. You can see the four like little expressions here, four different pieces and the domains that go with that. And it also has A, B, C, D that we're going to evaluate at those pieces. Okay, so pause if you need to. All right, so what I'm going to do first, without actually having to graph this, because this is kind of, you see all those fractions, it's going to be a little bit, of a task if we just use lined paper. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to kind of do a number line to show you one way to do this that kind of helps visually. So I'm going to go ahead and color code first. I'm going to make this first piece. So this piece, I'm going to go ahead and do this one in pink. And notice that it's between 0 and 4. Okay, so in other words, this piece of the graph is drawn on top of 0, including 0, and all the way up to 4. So that would be your open circle here. Okay, and then we have the second piece is just equal to -9. Okay, and -9 I'm going to do in a different color, and this is between 4 and 15. So between 4 and all the way up to 15, you're going to have -9, where 4 is equal to. So this would be your closed circle, and this would be your open over here. Okay, the one over here with 15. Then we have, let me see, I think I have more colors. I will use purple. All right, so then we have this piece right here, 3/5 x minus 18, and this is between 15 and 20. I think that's purple, it might be dark blue. And then again, our 20 is going to be the open, and 15 will be closed. And finally, we have, let's use green. We have the last piece, that is this one right here. And that's between 20 and 25. So this is kind of a small piece. Notice that both of these are going to be equal to. Okay, might have to change that color. It looks kind of light. All right, so what we're going to do before we even look at these, the idea is that we want to see what is this value of y. So when x is equal to 2, which one are we going to use? Which equation? Okay, so where does 2 fall in between all this? And what would the y value be there? So I'm going to go ahead and do kind of like a little number line here. And I'm going to take my x values, so all of these x values, and just kind of put them here in sections. Remember that this graph actually has a y also, but we're going to do a little bit of a shortcut just to show you the evaluate part. Okay, so we have from 0 through 4, 4 through 15, 15 through 20, and 20 through 25. So I'm going to start my 0 right here. Okay, and I'm going to say, okay, 4 is right here. I'm just copying the pieces so far. So there's that first piece. And then I have 4 through 15. So let's say 15 is about right here. And then 20, and then 25. Okay. So my first piece, so this piece of the graph, -3/4 x minus 6, is between this piece right here. Okay. So, and it has a closed circle on 0. So it's closed here and it's open here. So it's, I don't know what it looks like. It's probably a line something, but I just know that it's between this area here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this here, -3/4 x minus 6. So if any of my numbers here fall in this area, I would be using this expression to evaluate it. Okay, it's part of the graph. The next one is -9. Okay, so that one is between 4. Notice that the first one is closed. So I'm going to put a closed blue circle in there inside that one. And it goes all the way to 15, where 15 is my open. And I'm going to do the same thing. So this whole piece right here of the graph is -9, which means that if I have a number here that falls between 4 and 15, it's going to just equal to -9. So it's kind of nice and easy for us like that. And then we're going to go ahead and do the next piece. So we have 15 through 20, where 15 is a closed circle. So I'm going to put that closed circle in there. And 20 is an open circle. So I'm going to go ahead and show that here. And this piece would be here. So 3/5 x minus 18 on the graph is between these two numbers. Okay. And last but not least, we have our interval 20 through 25, and they're both closed circles. So there's 20 and there's 25. Okay, I'm trying to make it as dark as I can. And this whole piece is going to be that last piece of the graph. Okay, so 2/5 x minus 14. I might have to go over it because it's kind of hard to see. So let me do that one in black. So 2/5 x minus 14. I'll just shade it in green. So you know this is the green one. Okay, so remember, this is not the actual graph. Our graph will look like a bunch of lines. We're missing the y-axis. All I'm doing is I'm showing you where these function pieces fall between on the x-axis. Remember, this is our x-axis. Because all we have to do is evaluate. So we don't really we could use this method to just do that. So here's what we're going to do next. I'm going to find all these numbers and I'm going to put them where they go. Okay, so f of 2, where does 2 fall? Remember, this is our x value. These are x's. 2 falls right here. So f of 2, I would plug into this right here. Okay, f of 18, where is 18 going to fall? 18 is going to fall right here. So I would have to use this blue guy here, or purple, whatever color that is. I'm going to use this expression to find this one. 22 falls over here, so I'm going to use this section for f of 22. And 30 is not even on the graph. F of 30 is somewhere over here. Okay, so I'm just going to put him over here by his lonesome. All right, so these are the ones that I am looking for. And they go with the section that matches that part. Okay, this one goes to nothing, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and actually start plugging numbers in. This method just shows you which one to go into. Okay, and of course, if you don't need this, you don't have to do it. You can just go straight from here if you are just that awesome. So here we go. Letter A. F of 2. Okay, so f of 2, we said we're going to use this piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that piece and rewrite it, but instead of x, I'm going to go ahead and put that 2 in there. Okay, and then just simplify this. So remember, when you're multiplying fractions, you just put this over 1. So that would be negative 6 over 4 minus 6. And you can do this one of two ways. You can go ahead and turn this into a decimal, or you can do it with the fraction. I'm going to go ahead and I'll do both just so we can see what happens. So this would be, let's see, I'm going to rewrite this because that's kind of it's a bigger number. I'm going to simplify it. So negative 3/2 minus 6. Okay. If I made this into a decimal, it would be negative 1.5. Remember, this is 3 over 2 is 1.5 minus 6, and that would give me negative 7.5. Okay, with the fraction, so here's the fraction version. This part is optional if you want to learn how to do it with the fraction or remember how to do it with the fraction. It would be negative 3/2 minus, we have to change this to a common denominator. So I would have to multiply times a 2. So I would get 12 over 2. Negative 3 minus 12 is negative 15 over 2, which is the same as negative 7.5. Okay, next one. We have f of 18. Okay, so f of 18 falls in this section right here, 3/5 x minus 18. So 3/5 parentheses, because we're going to put the number in there, minus 18. Inside that parentheses, we're going to put the 18, okay, because it's 18. And this will look like the following. We're going to go ahead and put that over 1, okay, because we have to multiply. 3 times 18, what would that be? Let's see, 3 times 8 is 24, carry the 2, 54 is what I'm getting, over 5, okay, minus 18. Okay, and then this one I probably am going to use just a decimal just because it's faster and I'm being a little bit lazy right now. So if I do 54 divided by 5, we get 10.8, okay, minus the 18. which gives me negative 7.2. Okay, so that's going to be my answer for letter B. For letter C, we have f of 22. So for that, we're going to go ahead and look at where that one lands. Move this just a little bit. Looks like 22 lands in this section right here. So we're going to use 2/5 x minus 14. So 2/5 parentheses minus 14. 22 is going to go in here. Okay. And just like before, when we're multiplying fractions, we put this over 1. So 2 times 22 is 44. 5 times 1 is 5 minus 14. Okay, we'll turn this into a decimal. So 44 divided by 5 is going to give us 8 points. I want to say 8.8. Yeah, 8.8 minus 14. Okay, oh, which is negative 5.2. Okay, we're almost done. Letter D is the last one, f of 30. Okay, and this is the one that there was a question mark for. So because if we saw up here, 30 is nowhere in any of these intervals. It's actually outside of the interval. So that means that graphically, when we do graph this, there is nothing there. Okay, so this one would not exist. So you can say does not exist, or you can say undefined, whichever one you prefer. Okay. And that is it. Hopefully my calculations were all correct. If you do find a mistake, let me know, and maybe I'll give you 5 points extra or something. Thank you.